You know that feeling, right? That little spark, that brilliant idea you just know could be something huge? Well, today we're going to get into how you can take that flash of inspiration and figure out if it's a real, actual business opportunity. We're going to walk through a really cool framework from Dr. Naga Golston at the Halan Institute of Technology that's designed to help you know if your big idea is a real winner. All right, let's get into it. We've all been there. Maybe you're in the shower, out for a run, or maybe you're scribbling on a napkin at 2 in the morning. You get that eureka moment and you think, this is it. This is the next big thing. It's an absolutely electric feeling, isn't it? But, and this is the million-dollar question, how do you know if it's a brilliant business? Because, let's be honest, there's a huge difference between a clever idea and a business that can actually survive and thrive. How do you know if it's worth pouring your heart, soul, and savings into? That's exactly what we're going to figure out. To even begin to answer that, we need a map. And in the startup world, there's a concept that's kind of like the entrepreneur's circle of life. It helps you see that every idea, no matter how big or small, fits into a larger, ongoing process. And what's so cool about this is seeing that entrepreneurship isn't just a straight line from point A to point B. Nope, it's a dynamic cycle. Every single venture out there, whether it's a tiny coffee shop or a massive tech company, starts its journey somewhere on this exact path. So, of course, it all starts right here, with the idea, that initial spark, that creative what-if moment. But an idea all by itself, well, it isn't enough. And that brings us to the next stage, which honestly might be the most critical of all. Evaluation. This is where you really put your idea through its paces, and it's what we're going to focus on today. Because it's only after you pass this test that you can even think about moving on to the next phase, which is, actually building the thing, launching your new venture. This is where you get down to the nitty-gritty of execution. And once you're out there in the wild, there are really only two ways it can go: success or failure. But here's what's so important to remember. These aren't the end of the story. They're just outcomes. They're data. Because no matter what happens, you reflect, you learn, you gain this incredible experience, and all that wisdom, it fuels your next idea. And just like that, you're right back at the beginning of the circle, only this time you're smarter, you're sharper. It's a powerful loop. Okay, so that's the 30,000-foot view. Now let's zoom way, way in on that evaluation stage. Specifically, we're talking about the very first check you need to do, the one that answers the most fundamental question of all. Is there even a chance here? Think of this first evaluation like a gatekeeper. Its job isn't to tell you if you're going to be a billionaire. Its job is to decide if your idea even gets to pass through the gate to the next round. It's about getting a quick read. Are we looking at something poor, fair, good, or maybe even excellent? So why bother? What's the point? It's simple, really. It's about not making massive mistakes. It's designed to stop you from pouring months of your life and a ton of money into an idea that was frankly doomed from the start. So how do you actually do this first check? Well, Dr. Gauss lays out a really simple 4-point test. Okay, so you've run your idea through this 4-point test and it passed. That's awesome. Congratulations. But what does that actually mean? Where do you go from here? This right here is such a key takeaway. That 4-point test we just did, that's called Ideation Evaluation. Its only goal is to give you a quick go or no-go on one question. Is there a chance? If the answer is go, then you get to move on to what's called Opportunity Evaluation. And that's the really deep dive that asks, okay, just how big is this chance? So a good way to think about it is like this. Passing that initial 4-point check doesn't mean you've made it to the top. Not at all. It just means you've earned the right to step onto the very first rung of the ladder. You've confirmed there's a real chance here, and now the real climb can begin. Every single world-changing company started out as just a simple idea that somebody dared to take seriously. By using a framework like this, you move past just dreaming, and you start taking real, calculated steps forward. So what about that idea that's been rattling around in your head? Are you ready to put it to the test?